See, there's a different way that we were dealt with. And that's to ultimately and definitively break our spirit. Until you are so afraid to stand up that you may have to speak that teaching to your children. I took my son to Mexico City, to a place that we call Teotihuacan, and another place that we called Tenochtitlan, which was the center of the Aztec Empire, where there were pyramids before pyramids in Africa, where there were arches and architecture before the Romans, where there were aqueducts before the Romans. It happens to be a black man's face that they just found a few 10 years, 20 years ago. And they said, wow, these people might have been able to cross the sea. But how did they get this big sculpture over here? Wow. Let's just say it didn't happen. And as I stood in a place that's now called, well, I think it's the palace where the president lives, I told my son that people say when the Spaniards defeated the Aztecs, they made the Aztecs, what were remaining, and the surrounding people, years and years and years, take dirt from the surrounding mountains and come back and bury the whole city. That took years to remind them, do not ever think about standing up to us. We want you to bury your culture, bury your city. And scholars for years and years and years denied that that had ever happened. Until one day, the folks in Mexico City, transit became an issue. And they said, we cannot get these people around in this city by the means that we have available to us right now. So let's go down and start building a subway in Mexico City to start getting people around and break up some of this congestion on our transit lines. But what do you think? Right directly underneath the president's palace, some workers were working thousands of feet down. Hey. And they started to dig around what this obstruction was on the earth. And they started to dig and they started to dig until I'm standing there with my son. And this had happened just a few months previous. And they had finally dug up enough to see at street level the very tops of the temples of what used to be the capital of the Aztec Empire. I am of this land, native from sea to sea, so I don't throw up a hood at the boundary. You come around with me, my mentality is original, aboriginality. My heart pumps red, man, it's just like yours, but the color of my skin greeted whites on shores. We different now like we was different then, but the difference is we wasn't all fenced in, and now we are invisibly bound and gagged, too scared to fight. Stand up for getting bound and dragged. America's still on some other ish to me. They set our brothers free, forgot our slavery. America, man. Contracts was broke before the ink could dry. But who you gonna sue when you running for your life? I understand the ultimate of all jack moves. We different people. But what's that mean to you? Oh yeah. So I'm sitting there in the 40/40 Club with Jay-Z. I said, yo man, you nice, man. You got 10 albums? You got your own clothing line? You gotta bust like I go out and travel around in. And it ain't rented? Nah man, it ain't rented, it's mine. I got one question for you, Litefoot. You got a record deal, man. I said I ain't never tried until right now. I'm standing here with you. Let's focus, man. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, talking, as you see me talking rather often. The running boys in the building of 150 million, don't it sound like we yelling? It's overrated, anything they underpay. Know your own worth, students. Because nobody ever gonna give you what you're worth unless you let them understand. Ladies, they ain't never been more relevant than to you. I spread and hustle and pull like it ain't nothing but a thing. In my section of the world, I'm the undisputed king. Sex many beauty queens to the video scores. Been rubbed by oils with fingers on point swords. Sometimes I really feel like a living dream. My age freak the middle of the magazine. Seattle the Queens, I see the best in betweens. Whipped cream go places, keep them go clean. Freaky type drama, never imagine my mama. A straight ghetto love with the straight ghetto love. That kind of be lit to get with. Freak me in the six, booty thick off eating grits. The baby girl, you keep it real in the field. I'll arrange to let you chill. My crib on the hill, I'll lift you out your house shoes in the Prada Hills. No more bus change, you better off in that range. Open your mind, mom. See, they used to tell me, man, Indians can't rap. They live in teepees and beg on drugs. Ride horses. Are you serious? Let me tell you about me, man. Let me tell you about me. I'm battling. I send shots through your anatomy. Gradually graduating from the academy. Tulsa, Oklahoma to the city by the sound. My city is divided by the roads that I put down. Scripts that I put down just to pick up.